Well, I've decided, and looks like I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be doing my top 5 worst regular show season 6 episodes. Since I said it's a really atrocious season, let me tell you the 5 worst episodes that make this a really bad season. Let's start with number 5. And let's just say right now, there are no redeeming factors whatsoever in these episodes. Maybe, but no. These are what I consider the worst episodes, not only of regular show season 6, but of the whole entire series. Just wait until I dig deeper into it in December. Number 5, Lift With Your Back. Now, this episode is already a Rigby torture episode, or as I say, one of the bad episodes that somehow survived our reruns for a little bit. Or just mean-spirited towards Rigby episode. This episode is just mean-spirited towards Rigby. He's forced to lift boxes, and then it injures his back. I mean, the redeeming factor is Eileen gives him a back massage, but other than that, in the end, he does succeed in getting the check. I mean, all he was trying to do was get a check from this kind of job, and this is, what is considered terrible. It's number 5 mainly because even though it's really bad, it still does kind of have a little soft side. But don't think it'll last because these 4 are not watchable episodes. 1000th Chopper Flight Party. I've done a rant on this episode. I won't talk much about it. I'm not going to talk about this episode for those who've seen it, but for those who haven't seen it, Mordecai goes to this party at Margaret's, and then he says to CJ that he was going to bring her a piece of cake. But then CJ sees Mordecai and Margaret together. She thinks that they're a couple. She goes full on berserk, thundercloud storm and everything. Like, oh my gosh, like. But it turns out that Margaret has this new boyfriend, Dale, or whatever his name is, Dave, and then CJ just runs off because she feels guilty for what she's done, and yeah. A love episode. Like, you're gonna get a ton of those in regular show season 6. But if you think 100th Chopper Flight Party is bad, how about Margaret lying to CJ in Not Great Double Date at number 3? Yeah, it turns out that Dave wasn't really, or whatever his name is, Dale, not really Margaret's boyfriend. It was just like the news reporter or something. She even admits to CJ that she still has feelings for Mordecai. Mordecai sees, hears it, and he runs off. I mean, the only redeeming factor of that episode is the dump cam, because it shows a toilet, and you know me, toilet humor, it's funny. But enough of that. Oh my gosh, number 2, Dumped at the Altar. I am not talking about this episode again, because CJ breaks up with Mordecai in this episode. And with good reason. Well, mainly because he couldn't choose who he wanted to be with. He didn't point in her direction. I already did a rant on this episode. Go check it out if you haven't seen it, but just kind of watch your ears because it's kind of loud audio. And finally, what's the number 1 worst episode of season 6 of regular show? It's also the worst episode of regular show altogether. Merry Christmas, Mordecai. I've ranted on this episode. I hate it with a burning passion. It's that atrocious. It's bad. It's terrible. It's a bad Christmas special. And to have the name Mordecai in it, I mean, honestly, I feel really bad for Mordecai, but it's his own fault. He kissed Margaret in front of CJ, so that's on him. So that's basically the worst episodes of regular show. I'm not going to do best today because, I'm kind of exhausted from doing these, so there's your worst episodes of season 6. It only gets better when we get to the best ones. Just wait.